Hey guys, Parfax here, and today we're bringing you a video on the things you need to do once you hit level 60. All right, let's get started. So I'm here on the Fresh Start server, specifically the Titan server, one of the RTA servers, and we're bringing you a video on the things you need to do once you hit level 60. I just hit level 60 a day or two ago, and I wanted to bring you guys a video letting you know what I'm going to be doing. Sometimes it may seem a little bit overwhelming on, well, deciding exactly what to do. Do I need to focus on my gear? Do I need to focus on getting my expertise up, which kind of go hand in hand? Do I need to do my factions? What do I need to do now that I'm level 60? So we're going to show you what I've been doing, kind of my process. Now, a little bit on this server that I'm on, I'm not going to lie, a tad different, mainly because since we're on the RTA server, we've been focusing on, well, some side objectives. But we're getting to the point now where we don't have to focus on those side objectives too much, and we can really just kind of start gearing out our character. So what I've started doing, you can kind of see my expertise has been going up a little bit. We haven't been focusing on sword at all, but we've got our armor up here a little bit, and we haven't done a ton to actually get it up. And then we are getting jewelry. The first thing I wanted to do was, well, there was a couple really cool named items that I could get really quickly. First item that I got was Ill-Gotten Gains. This is just a really good piece of jewelry. It is an earring. It is found here in Eden Grove, right here at the lower slag mine. There is a boss there. You can farm him and get it. Now, it's not worth spending a significant period of time here. Go there, maybe spend 10, 20, 30 minutes trying to get it, and it's pretty good. Next, we did get our smooth bone ring, mainly because I was doing a little bit of tanking, and if you want to go light armor, you do need the hardy, and we get that damage perk there, Keen Awareness. Keen Awareness is pretty good for PvE. It's not the greatest, but honestly, when it comes too early on, there's not a whole lot of options. And if you want to see specific gear that you should be going for, I'll link a couple videos in the description down below of the weapons and armor you should really be targeting, because that's not really what this video is going to be about, but just kind of show you a few pieces of gear that I have obtained. Next, we have the Infinity Crystal. This is just a quest reward that we talk about in that video as well. Really good. Health, Divine, Fortified, Strength. 570, does not have a gem, but does have 3 perks. So just a really overall good piece of gear. And then we went ahead and got some weapons. There was a change in one of the recent patches where if you get a named item, it's going to drop at 590, and you can wear it without it being downscaled. You can see here we have a bunch of named items in our inventory right now. We have a bunch in the bank as well. We even got the blood sucker already. And yeah, it's just getting some of these is a huge power spike for your character. So I would very much make sure you watch the weapon video, go get a couple weapons, and it's going to make your experience a lot better. Now, after you've gotten a couple pieces of gear, you're like, what do? I really want to increase my gear score so that I can start getting Lego weapons. I want to start upgrading these cool named items to 600. So there's basically, in my opinion, 2 things you can do. First, it's going to be run dungeons. Now, the most efficient dungeon to run is actually Barnacles and Black Powder. The reason for this is you actually get a Gypsum orb. It has a repeatable quest right outside the dungeon that you can do and get a bump extra on every single run. It does have that orb that is just completable as many times as you can complete it, and it gives you an extra orb on every run, which is going to skyrocket your leveling of your expertise. And when it comes to your expertise, what I decided to do was we're going to focus on jewelry and weapons. Your armor, it's really good to get, and you really want to get it up, but those are going to actually increase a lot more than your other things. So if you have a limited amount of gypsum that you can use every day, what I would spend it on is your jewelry and weapons first. Weapons being the first, jewelry being the second. And then if you have any extra gypsums come just laying around, then you start doing your armor, whichever one is lowest. The key here isn't to get one item, maybe other than your weapon, to 600 as fast as possible. The key is to get them all up as fast as possible. You could do something like leveling your chest piece all the way, but it's going to level a lot faster than your weapons and jewelry, so make sure you focus those first. Let's say you've done enough dungeons and you're looking for something else. The best thing overall I think you can do once you hit level 60 is do chest runs. Now, as you can see here, I posted a video not too long ago about chest runs and people didn't actually know what they were. So I want to just explain it a little bit. So chest runs are just that, chest runs. People will get groups together. Let's see if there's any going right now. Typically they will post in recruitment. I don't see any. Not all the chests are in the same spot. No. So we don't have any going right now. But what they will do is they will go to specific areas and they will run for elite chests. Now, while you're there, you want to make sure you pick up as many chests as possible because those chests are going to give you a lot of material that's going to be used to upgrade your refining and crafting and can actually net you a ton of money. So if we look up here in Shattered Mountain, probably the most, well, ran chest route is going to be in Shattered Mountain, and they go into mines and then Murkgard. Now, especially early on, Upper Sviken is also a very good place, which it's very easy to go in there. You can even go in there with a group of like 4 or 5. There's a couple bosses that might give you a little bit of trouble, but you can run these 3 a ton and get a bunch of boxes. Now, the elite chests themselves will only drop once a day, but the supply chests will allow you to get them every hour. So make sure you're picking up those because you're going to need them down the road. And the big thing here is picking up way shrines. Now, or fast travel shrines. I call them way shrines because of ESO, but fast travel shrines, here's the big ones you need to get. First, make sure you go up here to Mountain Home. There's some quests up here that you're going to want to complete anyway, and go up here and grab it. The other one, you for sure want to get Old Murkgard. And then when you're doing a chest run, they're going to run around here. There's a portal right here while they're doing, oh no, sorry, I think it's right here. Yeah, while they're doing this portal right here, don't worry about actually closing it. What I would do is I would run up this, it's a little walkway, and grab this shrine because there's a dungeon Tempest that's right up here. And it's going to be a dungeon you're going to want to do in the future. So make sure you run up there and grab that shrine. The other zones that people will do them pretty often are down here in Ebonscale, right here, and this is the Imperial Palace. We can go, some people do the Great Cleave run, which I believe this is Mangled Heights, and you'll need to grab the Cleave's Point Shrine here. One of the very, zones that we used to do a lot, we don't do it quite as more now, is down here in Reekwater. There are 2 places. You have Eternal Pools, which you're going to want to get the Lazarus Shine no matter what, because you're going to want to run Laz. And then you'll just have the Reekwater Town, and then from there, you can go down here to Siren's Strand. This is Siren's Run. This is a really good run as well, and this one's typically pretty popular. Other than that, we just have one more here in Eden Grove, and this is Mangled. Now, the one thing to note about Mangled itself is you will probably need some blight potions. You do get blighted here a lot, but the shrine you're going to want to pick up is the Lessian Shrine. And this one, you'll just run down the hill and you'll see some stairs. I believe they're right around here. I think these might be the stairs here. Actually, I don't think that's stairs, but there's some stairs. You'll go up here and you'll run that, but you'll see them posting in recruitment chat. Mainly that is where you're going to see them. Sometimes if you pay attention to your faction, they will do flag chest runs, which are better. You will flag up and get an extra 10% experience. Now, even if you see another faction out there flagged, you can still just run unflagged and get these. These are extremely important for leveling your character post 60 because it's going to give you everything you need to level up and to get your crafting and gathering up. So I've talked a little bit about Gypsum and expertise, so let's just do a quick explanation to what they are. They're essentially the gearing mechanism after you hit level 60 that kind of increases your gear score. So if you see these numbers to the left, these are going to be your expertise. Now, in order to see your expertise, you will have to put something on. So if I want to see my spear expertise, we put it on and it will show my spear expertise. And same thing with every other piece of gear. You can see your armor. Now, when it comes to armor, you have a light helm here. If I go ahead and put a heavy helm on, it doesn't change my expertise. So it doesn't matter whether you get a light, medium, or heavy, it all counts as the same, which is the reason why it's so much easier to level up your armor than it is your weapons and jewelry. Now, when it comes to Gypsum, what I'm talking about here is at that Gypsum kilns. And these are at all of your end game zones. And there's these little orbs that you can get by doing a bunch of quests. Well, talk a little bit about a few quests that you can do, and by doing objectives. So you can see here we have 3 obsidian gypsum. This is, as you can see, just awarded by defeating level 60 plus mobs, elite bosses. And then we have sapphire, which is by doing dungeons and expeditions. Those are going to be one of your best ones to get. We have garnet, which is the PvP arena. Emerald, this one's going to be a harder one to get. It's one of the easier ones at one point. So essentially, to get these, you will have to get a trade skill of some sort up to 200, and you'll have to earn an aptitude box. Essentially, it's just an experience bar after you hit max that can give you some really nice rewards. So I wouldn't worry about this one too much. But if you get, let's say you're skinning up, if you go skin a bunch of stuff every day, you can get one of these. We have citrine, which is just a trial, or what we call arenas. Completing one of them will give you, you can get 2 of those a day. You can get 3 obsidians a day, so it'll give you 1 orb. Sapphires, you can get 2 of these a day, which will give you 2 orbs. Garnet, 2 of these. Emerald, 1 of these. 2 citrines. Amethyst, these are just doing portals. You can get 7 of these, which will equal 1 orb. Rubies, which are outpost rush. Once you hit 60, you can do these, and you can get 2 a day. Diamond, these currently are just by looting chests. You will get little boxes, and in them you can get 3 diamonds, which will give you an orb a day. And then we have topaz, which are used by crafting a topaz potion at the Arcana station. Anybody can craft them. It does require some materials, but once you craft them, it'll give you a potion. You pop it. You have 2 hours to kill a bunch of 55 plus enemies, and you can get 10 of these, which will give you 2 orbs. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about these infused, because until you start getting legendaries, these won't really come into effect. And here's what we're going to turn our orbs into, and these are casts. Now, these are infused casts, which are the top ones. And we have regular gypsum casts here. You can see, I think I have 1 orb, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's see. What am I going to buy? We've already bought the great axe. We've bought the great sword. We pretty much bought everything that I want, so I could buy like a chest piece. Let's just go ahead and see what my armor is. So the lowest piece of gear right now is legs, which I know we've bought. No, actually chest piece. So we're going to go ahead and buy our chest piece, and you'll see what that looks like. So we're going to buy the chest piece. We're going to get a little box, and it's going to give us a gear score or an expertise increase, and it's going to have a random piece of gear in it. So let's see if we get anything good. Nope, a green fighter chest piece. It gave us, I believe it said 4 expertise upgrade, and it is just a strength dex with corruption resistance. Not that great, so we're just going to go ahead and deconstruct it, get a little bit of coins, but you can see there we got a +4 expertise, and my expertise now is 528. So you're just continuously do that on your main weapons. Once you get your weapons, your jewelry up, then just start focusing on other stuff, and we can talk about umbral shards once we get to that point. But getting your expertise to 600 on every piece of gear that you're wearing is going to be the first thing you're going to want to do when it comes to gearing. But all right, guys, you can of course do things like trade skills, which are going to be very important. Your refining, all of your refining is super important, and especially your refining for all of your ore materials. You know, you have your woodworking, which isn't as good, but doing your tanneries and stuff like that are going to be very important, because you're going to want to get to the daily cooldown mats as fast as possible. But just go out there, do a bunch of things. Just focus on 1 or 2 things at a time, but don't be afraid to really, you know, if you see something good out there, just go ahead and do it. If you see a bunch of mobs you want to skin, go skin them. I mean, my trade skills aren't the best right now, because like I said, we've been focusing on a few things, but the big things to at least make money in progression is your refining. Now, your refining comes with gathering. I wouldn't suggest buying them. I did that a little bit on my first character, but go out there and do a bunch of skinning. What's my skinning now? As you see here, it's 166. Do a bunch of skinning, take all of that leather and turn it into, you know, rough leather into your coarse leather, rugged leather, you know, all the way up as far as you can, and then just put it in the bank. Don't sell it, because you're going to need it for your refining stuff as well. So go ahead and start knocking these out, getting your harvesting down. I wouldn't focus too much on the crafting side. This is going to be something that's a lot more end game focused. If you're kind of new, I wouldn't focus on these too much. It's okay to get them up kind of passively, but the big thing here is you want to get all of these maxed as much as possible. Fishing and music, they're under the casual tag. They're not super needed, but the gathering and refining are the things you're going to want to focus on the most. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Like always, we're going to have some money-making tips coming up this week, with maybe a few other things on top of it. So all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.